Hello, my Capricorns. Welcome back to Alchemist Tarot, serving tarot straight up. This is your December monthly reading, and I'm doing things a little differently. I think a lot of you have heard me talk about a membership-only site on my website. So what I'll do is I'll pull a card for the overall energy of the month, actions, advice, any obstacles that you might face, a card for each week and the outcome, but then money and career I'm going to put on the extended that you can purchase as a part of my membership. Okay, it's a monthly membership and you'll have access to exclusive content, readings, and other videos. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, Capricorns, we just went through a eclipse or we're going through it now depending on where you are in the world. Okay. Sorry, this part takes a little bit longer. Okay. All right. Capricorn, overall energy for the month of December. By the way, early happy birthday to Capricorns, because you guys it starts December 22nd. So 6 of Swords is really starting to move on to calmer waters. The 6 of Swords is air energy. And this is about really have gone through it this last couple of months, and mentally tiring, very stressful, focused on so many things. And Capricorns, you're the hardest working side in the deck. All earth signs are, but Capricorn, you guys are very, very hardworking, and you will put in 100 hours if it means success. So I feel like for a lot of you, I think you've come to a couple epiphanies. One, it's better to work smarter than harder because you can actually be more effective. Just because you're working hard doesn't mean you're effective. But I think for a lot of you, you've done and gone through some significant self-work, and mentally you know where you want to be, where you want to go, and what you need to do to get yourself there. So even just with that understanding, you're starting to set the stepping stones and move the tracks where you need them to start moving forward. And I do feel like even having that small bit of clarity is kind of helps clear the gunk out of the way so you can move forward with confidence. Okay, so some actions, advice, I would tell you, don't rest on your laurels. I'm saying this because I think for some of you, whether this is at work with other people, a company that you work for, and even if a company you run, and there could be where there's been some times in the past where you've been kind of so focused on so many things, it's really been hard to look at the details. The thing is now's the time to actually get out of that mode. You've got to put your full attention onto every aspect of your business, whether you're running the company and you're the owner, you're the CEO, or that you're in a leadership position, because most Capricorns are in leadership positions. Even if they don't have the official title, you still are looked at as a leader. That you have to kind of look at the details and look at everything and how it's running process, because I do feel like people have been slacking off. And so this could be an individual that has taken advantage that you've been so focused elsewhere in so many things, that they have been either doing things their way, which quotations is probably not the most effective, or they're doing things to benefit them the most, or their department or their team. So action advice would be to kind of snap out of it and get back in there and start looking at things with a fine-tooth comb, because I feel like you're going to find some behavior actions that need to get addressed quickly. Okay, obstacles that you might face. So here's the thing, through a lot of this self-work, Capricorn, even though you've made some pretty big headway, even mentally, I think you'll find it hard that you might slip back into your old ways. Okay, and so thought and action have to be in sync. You can't just think of that you've made all these changes. You have to consistently do them, right, for them to take effect. Karma in reverse, you've worked really, really hard to get yourself out of that you know, that shadow work and to work through all those nuances and behavior and mentality and self-deprecation and all that crap. But you have to realize that Capricorn, even though you are hardworking, you do figure things out very quickly, and that people always, you know, you're the go-to person, whether, like I said, you have the official leadership title or you don't, people come to you. It still means you can't carry everyone's weight, Capricorn. I know it's probably easy for you and you can just do it. The thing is that when you just do it for someone else too many times, you're carrying a lot of load on your back, which, you know, like I said, you kind of worked through that. So if you catch yourself starting to take on more workload that isn't yours, or you're carrying the weight of other people when they should be doing it themselves, you need to kind of snap out of it and don't regress, because what will happen is that you're going to have to go through this cycle over again. Okay? So that's just an obstacle that you might face, that if you feel like, and especially if you're in an industry or at a company that focuses on like retail or anything like that, around like where your customer service or things like that, you got to hire and train people that can do it, so you're not having to babysit. Okay? All right, let's go into the week here. Let's pick up these cards. First week is the shadow side. So again, this upcoming week, I really feel for a lot of you that you might be battling kind of, you go back into work and you're like, oh my God, what a mess. But this is about delegating, and this is about, you know, understanding that all the work that you've done and the progress that you made, if you continue to do things from the top down, do everything for everyone, you're going to be in the same position you were in, mentally tired, exhausted, frustrated, probably not very happy. So Capricorn, you know, again, delegate and make sure that you hold people accountable, okay? And the second week, I do feel like you do some of that. You start to get out of your own way, and you understand that, look, I can only do so much, and I'm only one person, and people should be held accountable. If they're getting paid to do a job, they should do it, and they should do it well. The Emperor is taking that approach. It's like, look, no nonsense. If you can't do the job, then you're going to be replaced type of a mentality. You need people who you can trust. You need people that can ultimately, hopefully one day take your job, so you can get into higher further up in the company. Or, you know, if you own the company, then you can, you know, take a little bit more time away, and you don't have to be in the day-to-day, and you don't have to feel like you have to micromanage if that's the case. But you are taking that type of, you know, kind of no nonsense, like, look, you know, if somebody is not cutting the mustard, how they say, then they gotta go, you know. And I hate to say that, like, no one wants to lose a job, but you're kind of holding people, holding them to the fire, you know. You're making sure that they can do the job that they were hired to do. Seven of Cups, when you start to free up that load, Capricorn, you're going to have a lot more options ahead of you. A lot of things that you can choose from, a lot of things that you can focus on now, things that you actually want to focus on that are more fulfilling for you. Now, I would tell you just to be very cautious, Capricorn, don't get overly enthusiastic and think that you can do everything all at once. You have to prioritize this, okay? I know that you're very good at doing a lot and taking on a lot of work, but you've already mastered the skill of spinning 50 plates in the air at once. We know you can do it. Is it sustainable for the long term? No. So make sure you prioritize and really focus on what is the thing that you really want to focus on the most. Four of Cups, when you start to make a plan, Capricorn, and you start to really narrow down what makes the most sense for you moving forward, you're going to be in your, you know, kind of like your place, right? You're going to be in a really good vibration. Nine of Cups is something that, number one, this could be a promotion. This could be more money coming in. This is a wish coming true. So maybe there is a higher level role that you've been promoted to, or whatever the case is. Maybe this is more clientele. Maybe you landed that massive client that you've just been waiting and waiting and waiting. Whatever the case is that the fact that you removed a lot of distracting energy out of the way and holding other people accountable to do their job, and you can focus on yours, you're actually really effective and really productive, and you're able to actually, you know, win more business or get more money in your pocket. So good for you, Capricorn. Really good job. Okay. Outcome. First and foremost, I want to tell you this is fantastic. You have the World card, and then you have the Ace of Swords. When you have an ending, you have a new beginning. Things are really coming full circle for you, Capricorn. I think that this was a really tough lesson for you, to learn not to carry so much weight on your shoulders and actually learn how to be more strategic. and be, you know, work smarter than harder, okay? So this is really come full circle, and as long as you consistently catch yourself when you start to feel like you're taking too much on of other people's work, that is really what the universe wants you to do is, hey, I notice I'm doing this, and then stop it in its tracks. And then you have a new beginning. You're going to have a lot clearer line of sight of where you want to go and where you want to be. And that way, when you aren't weighed down with everything, you're really able to mentally focus on what you want to do. And you have a clear line of sight. What I will tell you is this is also your intuition and your gut. Don't go against that, Capricorn. If something doesn't feel right, or if something does, your intuition's spot on, okay? So, and like I said, I really feel like this is a higher level position that you're getting promoted in, or maybe they're, you know, creating another department, or there's a region that you're gonna be responsible for, whatever the case is. I really feel like you're gonna be even noticed more so because of your achievements and your focus, and you've really accomplished quite a bit. So good for you. Oh, and I wouldn't even say a warning, just something to keep in mind is that the Ace of Cups in reverse is not to let yourself fall back on old traps of only focusing on work and only focusing on the money. You have to focus on your health and wellness, okay? So this is mind, body, and soul. You have to have your cup full, okay? So if it's completely empty, you're not going to be good to anyone else. So focus on that, okay? Great job, Capricorn. I said okay about 50 freaking times. We're going to do love and money in the extended. All the links are in the description. So if you want to become a member and have monthly access to new content, exclusive content, videos, information, you know, go ahead and subscribe. It's very reasonable priced. And that way you can see what's coming up in money and love. See you guys. Bye.